Baby bottle pop. Do you guys remember those? Do you guys remember those?
I sure do.
What?
Baby bottle pop.
Oh my god. Yes, I do.
You would twist it off. Turn
You
it
can
upside
twist
down,
it,
shake it,
turn it,
and then lick
munch
it off,
it.
and then do it again.
It's like the what is it? Fun Dip.
Yeah.
Love Fun Dip.
I love Fun Dip. I love those little
What color?
crack cocaine sticks.
Or pixie
So
sticks.
Pixie sticks were the king.
I bet you would eat 2 of the sticks by themselves.
Yes, I will.
Dude,
Wow.
if we try to do that now, we would fucking die.
I would throw up. Just thinking about how they tasted and like eating 2 of them just by themselves, I'm like,
They gave us chalk and we were more than happy to just eat it. You know?
put that on a t-shirt.
Guys.
Cut, print, release, post.
Lick it, stamp it, send it. That's original. Anyway.
So let's do
Ready?
this.
Okay. You Hey y'all, welcome to Sit Down Loser. We're watching a movie. My name's Dahlia.
I'm Sky.
I'm Antonio,
And I'm Ketzel.
and we're just 4 purge-respecting Americans who watch movies that everyone else has watched, except one of us is a loser who hasn't. Welcome all, and join us as we prepare for the upcoming annual Purge on March 21st, 2022. Today, we're watching a movie that took a concept from a Star Trek episode and really ran with it. That's right, you guessed it. The Purge, released in 2013, directed by James DeMonaco. And today's loser is...
Me.
Dahlia.
But of course.
But of course.
It's always me.
But of course.
You probably got like a 50-50 chance that it's me.
You were Ketzel.
Yeah.
Because it was definitely not going to be
That's
me or
because the
Sky.
odds is high, baby. The odds is high.
That's
May
true.
the odds be ever in your favor.
Wrong clip.
Wrong
Video.
movie. different
Ah!
movie.
I would like to say that I want to read why we picked this because Sky wrote this high, and I want to do an imitation of Sky. If I can please audition for you
Hold on,
guys
hold
as
on.
Sky.
Yeah.
Can I explain myself?
Okay. I gotta...
Can I please
I
explain
think we
myself?
can all
Can I say
take
one-
we can all take turns auditioning. We can
Let
each
me
take
just
one.
say. Let me just.
Hey, I don't. Can I just?
Does
You
it
go ahead.
are we all just doing the first one?
No, we all
Or
do
we
different
all-
ones.
But I
Okay.
just wanted to be clear. I have not read this at all.
Perfect.
So this is
Me either.
brand new info.
This is all
Perfect.
raw, uncut, fresh
You
material.
haven't seen what I wrote?
It is right in
No.
front of me, and I
dude,
am
Ketzel's
not
the only
looking
one
at
that
it.
was like, Jesus Christ, dude. Okay, can I explain myself really quick before y'all roast me?
Sure.
So, as I said in the previous episode, I did 2 outlines this one weekend where I got high, okay? It was a Saturday night. I was home by myself.
Home Alone.
I was home alone. I started with Eternal Sunshine, and I had just I just smoked, right? So it hadn't really hit me yet. I finished it, felt good about it, started moving on to The Purge, and like as soon as I wrote like today's loser and I started going into the reasons why, I don't know what happened. 'Cause
Don't
the
you
next
open
morning,
up that
I read what
window.
I wrote. I read what I wrote, and I was like, Sky, are you okay? I had to look in the mirror and be like, bro, what happened?
It's like in SpongeBob when he starts writing and he's so inspired, and all he comes up with
The
is the.
Well, usually I would like to say we usually have like 3 or 4 points. I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 points on this, so you're welcome.
Zooted, am I right?
Very
Mm.
zooted.
Oof.
And it was one of those highs where you're like, I don't think I'm really that high, and then like the next day you're like, well, I was pretty high.
What did you smoke?
I think I either did the Fruity Pebbles one or the Rose Gold one.
It gives me a headache sometimes.
I think it clearly did not give me a headache. It gave me much inspiration.
I don't know what that is.
It's like a type of strain.
Nope.
Anyway.
It's
all
just
right.
a flavor.
I'm
It's just a flavor. It's like saying, orange creamsicle.
yeah.
Of the different ice creams, this is one of them. That's what you're saying?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thank you for simplifying that for me,
You're
a
welcome.
simple person.
You're welcome. Hey, I just want you guys to know before you start this, I do really love you guys.
Oh, we love you too.
And I
Love
have
you
done a
too.
lot for you guys. So
Sure.
Just so you know.
What do
Oh,
you
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
What you think
Y'all
this
are about
roast
to roast me.
out of love?
So, auditioning first as a Sky. It's me, Ketzel. So why do we pick this film? A Blumhouse baby. Hey, Daddy Jason Blum. So, we love Jason Blum.
Oh no.
I don't know about the audition, but it's a great reason to watch this movie. Is the fact that it is Blumhouse content and they consistently put out really great stuff.
We'll watch anything Jason Blum does.
I think. Is this one of the first ones we
This is
kind of
definitely
watched?
it's like earlier. This is definitely earlier.
Yeah.
ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That I won't like knock that because I'm fairly sure this is when I started to realize Blumhouse was a name that I should probably pay attention to.
8 out of 10 for that impression. Good job.
Thanks.
Shouldn't I be rating these?
Yeah, you should. You know what? Yeah, you can rate them.
I would agree with Dolly though. It was an 8 out of 10.
Clap, 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 clap,
It's
clap.
still a B.
Go with B. Powerful franchise, hunty, and it's still going, girl. Can't stop, won't stop. This gravy train goes on and on and on.
I'm gonna give that a 1 out of 10 because that was more Ketzel than me.
That's probably
That's
true. My interpretation of you is an interpretation of Ketzel's
We are sometimes the same person.
because Ketzel's thing is to imitate things, and my imitation is always going to be like a more visceral, evil version.
Yeah,
of whatever
and
they try.
I would like to say that Ketzel does add a song to. If there is a lyric that is similar to it, or like words that are similar to a lyric in a song, they'll sing it.
I will. I can and I will, and I'll continue to do so.
That facet of your personality just makes sense, and I think I took some of that too.
Just like this
Cheers.
franchise.
This
But
franchise.
yeah, it's still going. The last one was the Forever Purge, and as far as I know,
Forever Purge.
they're making another one.
Woo!
When we thought the Forever Purge was the last
Just
one.
when
I
I
didn't
thought it
watch-
was over.
So, I've seen all of the films, but I have not watched any of the TV show.
Same.
Oh yeah, there was a TV show.
There was.
I remember you guys told me that at Halloween Horror Nights. And I was like, huh? And then I was like,
Huh?
I just want to watch the movies.
Oi.
Ketzel, do you have anything to say about that?
No.
About this franchise?
Oh, a lot of what I will say about this franchise and what I thought about it and currently think about it, we will save for afterwards. And I love this
All right.
franchise, but I've not seen all of them, and like I didn't love this film when it came out. I was hyped for it and I didn't love it. But then I love the second one, and then I think I'm excited to revisit this because I haven't seen it since the first time I watched it and didn't like it.
Interesting.
But I love the Forever Purge. It's been that transitions beautifully into the next part. So Dahlia, would you like to give it a shot?
Oh, was that all of them? Wow.
C.
We're on.
Your C.
Oh, I get okay. Okay. Remember Halloween Horror Nights? The Purge tram? The Forever Purge! Good times. Smiley face.
That's also why we're watching this.
That was 100% Dahlia out of Sky.
It really
Dahlia
was.
out of 10. You know,
Love it.
that wasn't an audition at all. You were trying to be your own person.
And I love that. You're hired. You got the part.
I wasn't
You're
high
gonna
enough
be
for it. But I got in.
You're going to be a star, kid.
I'm gonna be a star.
You got to learn how to act, sing, and dance. If you can't,
Oh, no.
then you're not going to make it in the business.
You wanna be a star, don't you? You gotta sing, you gotta dance.
All right. Anyways, go on. Returning back to the actual bullet point of this fucking conversation. I do fondly remember Halloween Horror Nights. And I think, honestly, so for Halloween Horror Nights, obviously it was Q's first time, Dahlia's second time, and it was yours and mine's third time being there. I really, really liked that we actually took the time to go on the tram this year. I don't know if we did it, if they had stuff going on the previous years or anything, but that one was just right.
The last couple years before 2020, they just did more mazes and they didn't do the tram. So
Yeah, I
the
think this is
mazes
the
were
first
in the
one.
area where the tram ran. They did less mazes because of less area, but they did do the tram, which was Purge themed, which is why this bullet point is on there.
The Forever Purge. I think I I watched the Forever Purge.
You did. We did watch.
We
the
watched
Forever
it
Purge
together.
on a lark for fun.
And I'll just say the only thing I pulled from that movie is I really want a black cowboy hat.
Don't we all?
Up next on our audition for Sky is Sky.
Yay! I'm so humbled for this opportunity to audition for myself. So here I go. Take one. Home invasion? Yikes. Scurry stuff.
You're not getting it.
Perfect.
Dahlia has it.
But yes, I would like to say, and we'll talk about this probably after we watch the movie, because I think I had different expectations for this movie when I first saw it than you, Ketzel.
Mhm.
So, like the home invasion stuff, like even when I watched this like more recently, I was like, this still is giving me like the ick because like home invasion is so scary. Any horror movie I don't like is usually home invasion.
Well, now you're a homeowner.
Yeah, exactly. So it's even more scary.
You're like, me responsible?
It's scary.
We can always cut this part out. But do you remember the time that we went to go pick up Q and we threw them under the bus?
Do
When the
I?
reporters-
Oh, you mean the police? It wasn't reporters. It was like police.
It was police.
No,
they were
was it?
detectives.
Yes,
yeah.
it was.
Oh, they were detectives?
Yeah,
that is
bitch.
why I threw Ketzel under the bus so fast.
So, Dahlia, do you know this story?
Reporters.
This is horrifying. I've never heard this before.
All right.
Why would
so,
you do that to my... Well, that's my friend!
No, I thought there were reporters as
No.
well.
And on a lighter bullet point, I'll do it. So another reason we picked this film, other than the terrifying home invasion shit, is, and I quote, again, listen. If Ethan Hawke and Lena Headey came up to me in a bar and said, "We like your vibe, will you be our third?" I'd say yes so fast, but I don't know, that's just me. Wink wonk.
That's not just you.
That's
I
not
think-
just...
is
Oh,
it
that is just you.
Lena
Lena
Headey?
Headey.
It's Lena Headey.
But I give you 1 extra point for being too drunk to read.
Thank you.
that's nice. Me and Antonio were like, What were you saying, Antonio?
I was saying, that's not just you. I think something got messed up between this outline and the last. Between Ethan Hawke and Lena Headey. But I know that's just me, wink wonk.
Yeah.
That wouldn't just be you.
Really?
It would just be her,
Yeah.
because I don't find Ethan Hawke attractive, period.
I'm still very disturbed by Ethan Hawke's existence, but like Lena Headey definitely carries the team.
Oh, so you would just be like, yeah, for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like Kevin Sorbo and shit, what was her name? Why can I not think of it?
Dina?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, I can't think of her name either. But yeah, I know.
You know exactly
yeah.
what.
But for her, anything.
right? That would be like she carries. Why can I not think of Xena's name?
Dahlia, do you have a point to make on this?
No thoughts, just vibes.
You aren't even drinking. How can you only have vibe?
Because this is taking... There's so many points. I'm waiting for the next one because I don't want to read ahead.
The next
to be
one,
prepared.
the next one, Antonio, you take it.
I'm so sorry for this, guys. Lol. I'm so high.
And our final,
Worth it.
and our final point. I think you should take Sky because you might know more about this than me, or us.
I don't. I just because when I wrote this, I mentioned in the beginning that this was based off a Star Trek episode, which I had no idea.
Yeah, I had no idea.
It's the Star Trek question. The
Ah!
Star Trek episode in question is called "The Return of the
Archons.
the Archons."
That sounds kind of sassy.
I thought you were gonna say sexy.
I almost
like,
did. I almost did. Do you know what it's about?
No.
I looked it up
That's
a little
very-
bit.
Oh no. Well, no. They probably. I think they go to a planet.
Yes.
Nope. I'm thinking of Rick and Morty.
That's why I was like,
No, they do. They do. I think they do go into a planet, and everything seems super like chill, and then things get more sinister. You know what I mean?
We should look that up after we come back.
oh yeah, we will.
I just
Maybe I'll
looked up
watch that one Star Trek episode.
I just looked up the name because I was curious to know which one it was.
That's
But yeah.
cool. Like OG Star Trek, you think?
Yes.
That's spooky.
Yes. Because it wasn't the Next Generation. I think it was just Star Trek.
That's spooky. Okay. Wow, there's so much going on. I think there's way more than what I thought I knew. And I can tell you what I do know because I had spoiled myself because under the guardianship of Antonio, we were watching something and then we started watching videos about something else and then we went into the Purge and I'm like, the Purge isn't on the list, right? And he's like, I don't know. And then we started watching a video about
This is what I get for leaving the country.
But it wasn't totally spoiled. I didn't watch the movie. I don't really remember a lot of the plot points now, just that Ethan Hawke is in it. I guess I still don't know name to face Lena Headey, but we've talked about her before. There's some dude trying to get into a house and they lock it down. And then things happen.
Yep.
Beautiful.
They
And then, I
certainly
don't know.
do.
It's the Purge. Like, I think everybody who's ever heard of the Purge knows that it's like one night of like disaster, murder, looting,
Deception.
which I would do on Purge night.
Disgrace.
Evil as plain as the scar on his face.
Okay.
Excellent. You all got the part. Good job. So the scores for everything. Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 39. Audiences gave it a 36. And Google users gave it a 77.
Dude, that's an F.
I think it's deserved from what I remember how I felt about this film.
I mean,
I like it.
I like it too. And like I said previously, I do want to get into like expectations after we watch it.
Yeah.
I liked it. I went in
I think
kind of not like I don't even remember really
What I
seeing
thought it
any
was supposed to
like
be.
trailers for it.
I think I definitely remember seeing trailers, but it was all like happy, idyllic stuff. Like
It was like ads, right? For the Purge,
that's
I think.
it. Like instead of like cutting
That's
the movie in and of
scary, yeah.
itself, it was more like an ad, like
Mhm.
you know, this year, blah 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 blah.
well, you know, I can going into like assumptions of the movie. I think like Saw, the Purge spawned a bunch of other spin-offs and sequels or whatever. So that's interesting. Like, you know, I feel like Saw was like the amazing, wow, we gotta make more of these. I think Purge is like, you know, cash cow. They're just milking it, finding other reasons. And I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of different, there was an election year one, the Forever Purge.
Forever
that
Purge.
was wild. So I don't know. I don't know what to like really expect to feel during this movie. I think I, you know, for the most part know what happens, but I want to know how I feel about it because I feel like it's very polarizing, at least, you know, between the three of you guys right now. So
Yeah.
I feel like that's good to just go in and be like, I'm here to watch it.
I want to know. I want to feel the suspense. I
Yeah.
know it's a suspense.
I think I definitely had
I
a lot.
want to know what the Purge is.
I definitely had a lot to do with expectations of like what we thought this movie was gonna look like, based on just the sheer knowledge that this is supposed to be a movie about a day where all crime's allowed. And I think we all had different expectations, and that's why
Yes.
our opinions
Why
formed
it
the way they
really
did.
throws everyone.
But who's in this movie? Before we jump into it,
Ethan Hawke,
not Ethan.
Adele
homeboy?
Denzim. Yeah, our little spooky boy numero uno. Lena, I can't fucking get her name for some reason.
Lena
Lena
Headey.
Headey, yeah. Which, did you watch Game of Thrones?
I sure didn't.
Oh,
That's
well,
probably why you're
you
like,
don't know her.
Eh?
I don't know her name.
Nope.
I don't know her. Who?
Yeah, Adelaide
Are you ever
Kane.
gonna watch it?
No.
She's Queen Cersei.
Anyway, Adelaide Kane, Reese Wakefield, Max Burkholder, and Edwin Lodge. None of these names particularly come out to you. I think Ethan and Lena are like the big ones, obviously.
Yeah.
They're the big ones. Reese's name comes out to me because I had seen him in a couple of other things.
Also, who spells Reese like that?
It's Welsh.
He's
What?
Australian.
Australian, no, yeah, it's
Ah,
Australian.
Lots of people.
Yeah, a lot of
That
people.
explains
It's
a
a
lot of
very
things.
common name.
Reese being spelled like that is actually like
Yeah, I remember when I was playing
Ancestral.
Borderlands. The guy's name was Reese, and it was like that.
It's probably just Ethan Hawke that you know, huh?
Oh, he?
Hmm.
Anyway, let's watch this thing. Let's get to it. All right. No expectations.
Good.
Only. Wait. Good. No. How do you say?
No thoughts,
No
only
thoughts,
vibes.
only vibes. Hi, we're back. But yeah, there's so much to say on my end. I think I was just not having a good time because I would have done things differently. But TBH, the way the storyline went, I would have done that the same. I think I would have just been a little tighter, maybe.
I would have been better, maybe. Better than everyone.
You're like,
Am I better than everyone?
Am
Another
I
TikTok
perfect?
reference or reels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it more than the first time, so that's good.
Yeah. I think because your expectations were lower.
I think my expectations were exactly where they needed to be. Not lower, but it's like not expecting a different plot.
I don't know what plot you
Whoa,
thought
so,
was going to
okay.
Yeah,
happen.
what is the plot
So,
that you thought was
I
going
was
to
I
happen?
was expecting what basically the Purge 2 was, which is more looking at like not just focusing on like this one very suburban wealthy family, and more so like what I found very interesting about the idea of a purge is how like society would deal with it, like in the city, you
as
know?
a whole, as
Yeah.
a greater whole.
Yeah, and what the Purge 2 does is what they're like in LA, right? And it's like different people and like they're in
We're
apartments.
gonna cover the Purge too.
Yeah, and there's
wink
a lot
wonk.
more of like a pilgrimage out of the city. You know,
Yeah.
it's a gauntlet.
Like
Now
that's
be careful what you just say, guys, because I haven't seen it.
yeah.
and we're
Anyway,
doing
but
that
anyway, it's more
soon.
compelling because it's more like
Yeah, but
yeah.
when literally Dahlia pulled up the trailer for the first Purge, and when watching it, I'm like, this is exactly what I expected. Just it focused on that one family,
Yeah,
and it was more of a home invasion esque movie, which is why when I went into watching it, I was like, it was exactly what I expected, and I liked it.
I think it's like I wanted the Purge as a concept was interesting, and I just wanted it to be explored bigger than that, which is what the Purge ended up being happening. But watching this the second time, I was like, oh no, I find this interesting, you know?
But that's exactly why they kept making more.
Mm-hmm.
Like this has to like be the springboard. If this didn't do well, then they probably aren't going to give two shits about what happens.
This didn't do well.
They wanted to set up the lore is the thing. They're like, let me give you a little taste and then give you the rest.
Well, no, it did do well, but no one liked it.
Yeah.
But it made money. So they
Yeah,
were
I
like,
was like,
oh, how can
financially
we
speaking, I'm pretty
capitalize
sure
this
this
and
is
make
pretty
it even better?
Clearly
Go
from
bigger.
the Rotten Tomatoes and Google score, so audience
Yeah.
score. It wasn't very high.
No, but people went to go see it.
Yeah,
They
because
did.
what I'm saying.
I think
Yeah,
because it's
yeah.
an interesting
I agree.
concept. It's definitely an interesting concept, and I really like what they did with the sequels, what they were able to explore. So going back to the first one, I can appreciate it a lot more than when I first saw it.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, it is the one that started it all, right? So,
Yeah, this did amazingly well. So on a budget of $3 million, it went to make 90 or 89.3.
what's your source?
Wikipedia.
Thank you, Wikipedia.
Always Wikipedia.
But yeah, I guess we can start it off. It is 2014. What? A totalitarian political party called the New Founding Fathers of America have been voted into office. And we'll start with that. So it is 2022 by the time that the movie starts. And, you know, now everybody has done the Purge, quote unquote. And it's an annual event where all crime is legal and all emergency services are suspended. So as a result of that, it seems that, you know, the U.S. is virtually crimeless and that unemployment rates have dropped to 1%. So it's like, you know, quote unquote better. And that's where we are. And we kind of start off with, what is his name? James, which is Ethan Hawkwink. He's driving home and he's like, oh my God, of course, Mr. Falk, his client or whatever. He's like, cool, great. And then he hangs up and then he calls his assistant or something. And he's like, we're having the best year ever. So you can tell that he's having a good time. But at the same time on the radio, we're hearing these terrible, terrible things, disturbing things. Like some guy, like he's saying the story, I'm going to kill my boss tonight for the Purge because tonight is a Purge. Oh, yeah, tonight is the Purge.
Is this a good transition to saying what you guys would do for the Purge?
Oh, what are
Everybody
we
else
gonna
go
do for the
first.
purge?
What are y'all
Probably
purges plans?
hiding out. Hiding out. I don't have any things that I want to do. You know, I'm okay.
Okay.
I just don't want to truly want to kill.
Would you hang
like,
out
as an
with us
individual.
on a purge night? Would we hang out?
Would the four of us hang out on a purge night?
We would be podcasting.
Would we be podcasting it?
No,
I feel like
What-
if there was a subplot for one of us being murdered in the room, it's me. I'm dying that night. I'm the one getting purged.
somebody's gonna get too mad at each other, and someone's getting purged.
I'm
Oh,
almost
boy.
positive it'll be that'll die.
Okay.
You would die?
Yeah.
You would
I'm
hide
not
out.
saying you're right, but
Found out who kills me.
You would hide out and hide out with friends.
Yeah, I think I'd be okay with hanging out with friends.
yeah, I asked on my personal Instagram. I asked what people would do on purge night 'cause I was curious. A lot of people said that they would steal stuff.
Yeah.
I too would steal
One
stuff.
person said they would kill. They would kill. She was like, I'd kill a couple people on my list. I was like, oh,
Oh,
love that for you.
What a journey.
I was gonna say, I think that I always thought this with the purge. I think that the immediate thought is like, oh my god, everyone's gonna be killing each other. But I honestly think it'd be more thievery, more stealing. You know?
I think in the climate we're in now, I think it would be an equal 50-50 on that. I think
Yeah.
people definitely would take the opportunity to kill one another, but a lot of people would also take the opportunity to fucking take some shit.
Do some
I
damage.
100% agree because, you know, the clout is real in 2022. Like, big name brands is coming back and people just want to be, you know, having the drip or whatever. I think that's what it's called.
Drip
So-
King.
I mean, I would go and steal an air fryer because I want one.
So you absolutely should because they're fantastic.
Okay. What
So,
would you?
yeah,
Okay.
I
Let
agree.
the question be, what would you steal then? And say parameters. What are you willing to put yourself at risk for? Air fryer is one.
An air fryer? I don't know, clothes?
Yeah, I guess the clothes for
Like
me, but even
high-end
then,
clothes?
like I don't.
But I'm also like, you know, it's so far to drive to get there to steal from them.
And knowing my fucking luck, I would probably get like stuck, and then someone would fucking stab me. I'm good. I think I would just stay in and hide.
I'd rather just be home.
Do you think
You know.
people would indiscriminately kill? Like, I don't think people would just come up to stab you unless they were deciding to indiscriminately
I would
kill.
think. I would hope not. I think I have a little hope for people that I don't think that's
I
true.
think people
See-
would have an agenda.
I think people would, if they're gonna kill, they're like, I got specific people on my mind.
I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of hateful people out there in the world right now. So I
Yeah.
don't know. I kind
Okay.
of tend to disagree that. I mean, I do think a lot of people, like the person I said before, like has a list specifically. You're gonna go out and kill these people, but I think
Start like killing people willy nilly left and right.
yeah, I think if you have the opportunity and no repercussions, I think
Yeah.
it's
I
fair
think
game.
people will take advantage of that.
I do too.
I think
You
it's
know.
wasted energy. I think people would absolutely follow their own agendas. If I crash into you or if you crash into me, I'm gonna get mad and I probably will shoot you with my gun in my car on purge night. But
But that's like an
if I'm just-
opportunity.
But if I'm just like, yeah, that's an opportunity that presented itself. I don't think that I would just be, if I was driving around and if anybody
You-
got in my way while I was doing stuff, yeah. In that case, yeah. But for the most part, I'm just like, nobody's going to stop me from doing this. Anybody who does is in trouble.
No one's stopping me from getting my
But-
air fryer.
Who would? Because I'm entitled to it as a Purge American. And let's continue.
I hate
Oh,
that.
also, I would also lock down. I don't think I'd be out purging TBH.
No.
Yeah, as someone with a lot of hate and a lot of urge to like just murder people for like whimsical reasons or just like
Really great to have this on
Whimsical
film,
reason.
on like
With a-
fucking recording. Very good,
I feel like
Antonio.
Oh my
I
God, I
remember
say
you
so many
saying
just
that
offbeat,
whimsy
like,
is
I was-
not your
I-
vibe.
oof.
Am I wrong? I feel like I heard Antonio say whimsy's not his vibe.
Yeah, pretty sure.
From Die Hard.
Not my vibe for like as a villain.
You're a logic villain.
Yeah, I'm logic villain. No, if I'm gonna go out and commit a crime, I'm gonna go out and
Oh, you're
commit
whimsy.
the crime.
You're
But, like-
whimsy thief.
Yeah, I like I have intrusive thoughts. Let's say that. my intrusive thoughts are like, without prejudice, hey, you've mildly slighted me, I kind of want you dead sort of situation. I still wouldn't like go out and purge.
Oh,
That's good.
I don't want to spend the energy.
Yeah, that was the whole point of that sentence. It was like, on the day-to-day, just driving to work, I scream at people in my head in like out loud in my car.
But never
like
the
when
energy to
Oh,
kill.
yeah. And like, or people who are just stupid, I wait until they're out of the store and I'm just like, oof, and I say so many just like offbeat or not so not
Not
PC
chill.
thing.
Not chill.
So many
things.
not chill things. I still wouldn't take the time to just go out and just like randomly willy-nilly kill people.
No.
Like I said, the luck I have is just not great, so I just should stay home. And I would.
Fun.
I know, but those security systems would be so fucking expensive. Like, I wouldn't trust being in my home. Mama, I'm leaving the country. I don't know why I'm discussing this. I'm out. Bye.
You did say that during the movie, but on topic of like security systems, that's what James, our lead character, Ethan Hawke, does as his job. That's what he was talking to his client about. He sells security systems, like high grade security systems that are supposed to protect people for the purge. So yeah, I mean, he's living pretty large.
Business is booming.
It's crazy. He's coming home to his wife, Mary, who is Cersei. That's what you said, Cersei.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lena
Yeah.
Headey.
Okay.
Cersei
Now-
of Game of Thrones, same.
Name to a face now. I now remember who she is. They have 2 kids, Zoe and Charlie. Zoe is not as quirky as her name sounds. She's actually very annoying. And Charlie is just a kid who has a lot of talent for technology, but he's also very soft.
Oh.
Soft-hearted.
He's compassionate.
Soft.
Nothing. Those are the same.
Yeah,
thing.
compassionate.
I really
soft.
take issue with you guys calling him soft. I'm like, this boy has compassion more than I would say for a lot of children.
Yeah, he's soft.
I-
The child is soft.
I think in terms of the movie, saying soft maybe makes sense because everybody's so hardened. But I can agree. He is a compassionate boy. Obviously, we see that in the movie coming up. So, yeah. So, family is together. They're, like, having dinner right before that. Like, the boyfriend of Zoe, again, annoying. They're, like, making out in the bedroom. And he's like, bye, see you later. And then she's like, okay, bye. And she's like, she was explaining to us in that scene about how her daddy is so angry because she's young and he's
Daddy.
18 and she's like 16. And she's like, he says you're too old for me. And I think we can all agree he's too old for her.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And the way
Anyway.
he was speaking to her too is like, well, you're so mature for your age, you know, like they just don't get it. It's just like all just red flag, red flag, red flag.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. I'm just going to say right now, because this is the intrusive thought I had when you were like, be quiet. I don't know why you were saying that, but maybe you can tell me. But I was watching. Oh, my God. I'm sorry. I was watching the Purge trailer, and then I was just like, this is another one of those red flag movies where you're like, if a guy says that this is his favorite fucking movie, red flag.
I can
Ooh.
see that.
I've heard a couple people say that, and I was like, oh,
I love the Purge.
This one, this specific movie,
well, yeah.
the first one,
The Purge.
Or maybe
like, I
any
would just
Purge
say,
movie.
or like the.
I think
he's
in
like,
general-
I love the Purge. A Purge would be a great idea.
I think it would have
yes,
been.
flag.
It was after the original one had came out. I don't think it was. It was before the sequel was coming out. So yeah, I think it was the original movie. Like he loves The Purge.
Oh,
I like
Awkward.
these movies as a concept. I think they're
Yeah,
fun to
very
watch.
interesting.
But like in real life, absolutely
Mama.
not. And
I don't
also,
think they're favorite
can
movie
I say
material.
like to this day, like even well, I mean, because this is 2022. This is released 2021. Halloween, they still sell like the Purge mask and like all that stuff for like in Spirit Halloween and stuff. When I went on Halloween Day, because I was looking for a specific mask on Halloween Day, when I went to like 2 Spirits. There's so many people that like were walking out with like Purge masks and like bats and stuff, and that was like their Halloween costume group idea. So that is still like popular to this day, because I
Mhm.
know after this movie came out, it was very popular. Because I don't know if you remember when we worked
at
at
Hot Topic.
they sold the Purge mask, like this original mask from the first one. And
What
then
mask were you looking for during Halloween?
a wolf mask.
Oh, okay.
no.
Oh, no.
You came to my house that evening.
For peach fuzz.
Yes, thank you. Anyway, the boyfriend leaves. He's like, bye.
Wink.
Wink. And then we have
Honk.
dinner. And then Zoe's just like, I'm just like so mad at you guys because like you just won't let me be with my boyfriend. And then dad is just trying to like phony baloney be like, how is your day? Tell me about it so he can tell them about his day. And, you know, he tells us that, what does he even say?
I've sold the most. I'm like basically the top of my job. We're doing so good, everyone. I'm doing so good at my job, and they're all like, "Congrats,
We're
daddy."
getting money.
They're like, "Thank you, daddy." And but the
Thanks,
purge,
Daddy.
Thanks, daddy. But the purge is about to start, so let's finish up Din Din, everyone, and let's get skedaddling. And Zoe goes upstairs, right? She doesn't want to like really.
Well, no,
see
they all
anything.
go to the
Yeah, they
So
all
they
go
have
to the
a-
lockdown
to see the
room.
commencement,
a
but she
security
leaves.
system room.
Yeah.
She leaves after the commencement. Once like the actual like official start where they explain how the purge is supposed to work, you know, for
The
the next,
broadcast, right?
Yeah, the broadcast, the emergency broadcast system lets everyone know that you're not allowed to use anything super bad weapon wise. So no like rocket launchers or bazookas.
Damn.
Also, you're not allowed to touch the highest of the ups,
Which is
for
bullshit.
of the government. And that there will be no fire, medical, or police services whatsoever for the next 12 hours. And then the iconic Purge siren starts playing.
I hate
Wah.
the siren sound. It gives me
Wah.
the heebie-jeebies.
Because it's 3 times, I think.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. So
When we were because you were eating and I think you were probably talking to your coworker too at the time, but when we were at Halloween Horror Nights and we were waiting in line at the Jurassic Park bar, which was probably the longest line we waited in that day,
Yeah.
we were in line and this little kid had like one of the fucking like toys from Halloween Horror Nights they were selling, but it had the Purge siren on it, and they made it go off, and me and Ketzel just both were like looked at each other, and
Stone-faced.
we were like
We were like,
we were like,
truly,
oh
we
god,
were vibing. And you hear,
it's happening.
Cold
and you hear,
sweat.
what? And we're like,
yeah so it's very unnerving, very
yes,
unnerving
very
sound
that.
to hear.
triggering. And yet still, Zoe's like, all right, I'm going to go be miserable in my room. And then they're like, what? And then the boy, the brother Charlie also leaves. He's like, so would y'all kill tonight, though, if you had to? And then he, like, leaves. And it's like, wow, so thought-provoking. So what a question. He's not wrong, you know?
It's not wrong. It's a fair question to ask.
Like,
He asked his parents,
why don't you?
Why don't they
Yes, there you go.
purge? And they're like, if we were so inclined, we would.
Which is such a parent thing to say.
Yeah, it doesn't really give me what you would do, but I fucking guess. So we follow Zoe up into the room, and she's like listening to music because she's being miserable, and she sits down on her bed and she's like, ah, and then hands come across her face, ah, but it turns out it's just Henry.
Which shouldn't be there because this John is fucking locked down already. Like, there's no reason why he should be in the house.
Baby,
This what?
we're closed for the evening, and now you're stuck in here.
Baby. Also, Antonio, real quick, you can cut this out. Can you move that glass bottle away from your face because it's covering you half your face?
No.
Okay, continue.
Okay.
Okay. What? Okay.
Was that Trisha Paytas?
Are you good?
Thank you.
I love you. That a Trisha Paytas reference.
Oh, I know what they're talking about. It's another
I don't
fucking-
watch
Stupid.
a YouTuber.
Stupid.
I
Go
don't watch
on.
a YouTuber.
I don't either, but it's just a video.
I think it's funny.
Anyway, but he shouldn't be there. Go on.
He shouldn't be there, and we kind of go through like a montage of all the family members doing different things. Like the mom, Mary, is working out, which is a
I
choice.
guess.
And then James is in his office listening to the news and working on
Getting
work,
that
I guess,
munty.
and getting that munty, those bells. And Charlie is spying on all of that. No,
He sneaks into his dad's office to hear that.
yeah,
He's like, I don't know, in his hidey hole, right? 'Cause
yeah.
Charlie has a secret passage or whatever that he's created in his
In his
closet. That's his secret place.
So then it goes back to Zoe and Henry, and Henry's like, "I'm actually not here to see you. I'm here to see your dad.
I just want to talk to him.
I just want to talk to him."
You know.
And she's like, "What the fuck?" And he's like, "Don't worry, I'm gonna make it right. I'm gonna convince him for us to be together," and blah 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 blah. And she ends up staying in her room while he goes out to talk to James, find him and talk to him.
And that just like is so 16-year-old girl, but also I would do anything for love. But like, baby, you shouldn't do that, you know?
Mm-mm.
You should not. It's a fucking lot. At the same time, because Charlie is like spying in the dad's office, he sees one of the video cameras, and there's like a single person running down the street, and he's screaming for help. He obviously looks injured. He's just like screaming, "Please, somebody help me!" And you know, it's like, I don't think he really looked disheveled. He was just like a very bloodied man. And so Charlie, again, being so compassionate, he's like, "I don't know." And he has his little fingies on top of the little touchpad, and he's like, "Should I open the door? I don't know." So he opens the door because he's like, "I can't do. I
Because
gotta."
he's so compassionate and has decided to jeopardize everyone by letting this man in.
That is absolute facts.
Yep.
So he done opened
That's
the door.
so frustrating. That is so frustrating to see.
You
in,
you didn't want to let that out now because you were
Oof.
like, "Kill the child."
It's disappointing because, like, honestly, one, you don't know what he's running from. Two, you don't know if that's a ruse to get into people's houses because this is an affluent neighborhood. Kill everyone, steal all their stuff. Or, like, three, the guy could just be crazy, you know? He could just be running around trying to get people's attention. He could be bait.
Sure,
Yeah,
or he
right.
could just be a good person.
Not likely on Purge night.
Well,
But
good
anything
for
can
him.
happen on
Anything can
Purge
happen.
night. So
Anything can happen.
he opens the door, man, and like everybody's like, "Yo, what the fuck?" And the man makes it into the house, and then the mom and dad walk into the room, to the foyer, I guess, because they have a foyer. And he's like, "Yo, who the fuck is that? Why'd you let him in? The door is closed." And so everyone's like this to each other, like staring daggers, but also like pointing guns without guns. And Ethan Hawke, James, is reaching for his gun, but at the same time, Henry is coming down the stairs. He's coming down the stairs, and then he's like, "Mr. Sandin," and then we all turn around, completely ignoring the homeless guy that's here. We'll quote unquote call him homeless. And then he like points the gun, and then the mom's like, "He's got a gun." And
A
then
knife!
he shoots. They go, "Papa," and of course, Henry gets shot because, like, I mean, I'm just saying he deserved it.
And you
He came
fucking
here to
called it.
kill
You
a man.
called it. You were like, he's coming not to talk to your dad, to kill your dad.
I just thought it was a little suspicious that you would just come here on Purge night to be with me. On the night you could kill just anybody. You could even kill me. I'm just saying, as a family, we need to have each other's backs. So I would have just been like, "Yo, my boyfriend is in the house. What the fuck? He says he wants to talk to you." Dad would have been like, "I'll talk to him." With his gun in hand. Anyway, Henry gets shot. He leaves with Zoe, and she's like, "Oh my God." And then the guy that came into the house that was screaming for help has disappeared.
Dun-dun-dun-dun.
Da-na-na-na-na-na.
It's wild.
Yes, and eventually Henry ends up dying, which good fucking riddance.
I mean,
Oof,
Absolutely.
really?
remember what I had said? He was here to kill the dad because he wanted some fresh young puss. He really be so entitled to that puss that he would kill a man
The
for
puss's
it.
dad?
Yeah, yeah.
hey,
Hey,
Pussy makes you do some crazy things.
pussy
Yo.
do, pussy do. My friend does not speak for me, though. I would like to say.
No.
Ketzel, my goodness. But anyway, he dies.
He do die in the
He
Pursuit of
dies for
Puss.
the puss.
The Pursuit of Puss.
I love that Will Smith movie.
Oh my god. Get out. That's too much. The fucking man, the homeless man, quote unquote. I don't like calling him homeless.
He is homeless.
No, well,
I-
just don't use that term. The
The
term is
intruder.
unhoused.
I don't.
Unhoused.
The intruder. Yes, I know. Thank you. I think intruder is a perfect
Intruder's
word.
good.
Is that?
Yeah, use intruder.
Yes. Yeah, I don't want to say that. So the intruder is just in the house, like just hiding away. I'm just gonna say he's really good at
The
hiding.
stranger. We'll call him the stranger.
The stranger.
Oh yeah, that's what they call him officially, isn't it?
Le stranger. L'étranger.
I mean,
Oh,
they're all
thank you.
strangers in this case, but hey.
The stranger.
I'm glad we could get this down now because he's very important. So the stranger is in the house hiding around and he's really, really good at it. Mom and dad are like, yo, this is fucking crazy. Why would you do this, Charlie? And he's just like,
I don't know.
He needed help. So Charlie, of course, is in the hot seat. Like, obviously, you know, that is kind of the right thing to do. Someone asks for help, you help them. So it's a tough spot. But, you know, at this point, I was kind of thinking to myself, you know, if we all just hide in this room and just barricade the door, like, I'm sure this guy will leave at 7 a.m, whatever, and we'll be fine. So that does not end up happening.
No,
because,
that until things happen instead.
It turns out some weird people, as Charlie's in the room as the parents are speaking outside of the room. He's like, what is this? And some other people, I don't want to call them strangers, some purgers? Some purgers come upon the lawn and they're like, hey, howdy. And it's like, why are you here? And the leader of the pack, he's called the polite leader. He's like,
Describe
howdy,
him.
Sandins.
Describe him.
Man, he is so creepy, man. Okay. First of all, his hair, that wig,
Wait.
it's too much. It's like, obviously a wig. There's no sideburns. Like when he tucks his hair behind his ears, like then there's no sideburns. I'm just bothered by that. I'm like, where are they? First of all, his smile is very creepy. Like he seems like he has nice eyes because at some point you see it like this and they're like, hee hee, like if he was wearing a mask, like they seem like kind eyes, but the smile makes it very creepy. It's like from like ear to ear practically. There's so much teeth. It's not ugly, it's just very unsettling because of the way that he like all the way like such a big smile.
Right. So, hey Antonio, would you fuck him?
Oh my god.
He's a little too generically pasty white boy for me.
Okay.
There was the one with the leather jacket and like the messy hair. I wanted to see what was underneath that mask.
How
did you know?
Pay attention to those
How
things.
did you pay attention?
How did you know?
How did you know?
I wanted to see what was underneath the mask at certain points. It was like the last guy that they shot aside from the leader.
Oh Lord, the one that he killed, his best friend. No, the one.
No, when they have a.
Mary?
It's the couple at the end.
The ones that were going. Ee.
Yeah, the one. Okay, we can get to that part. when we get to
Anyway,
that part.
okay,
Anyway,
politely.
sorry, I
just
had
like,
to ask.
Yo, I'm sure you did. For
I like
me,
how you had to ask Antonio specifically.
it
We
felt
all
like
know
you
why.
cocked a gun at us and went pa pa pa, and I was like, oh. I wish that you guys could. Actually, you might be able to see that.
Yeah, we're recording.
It just took me aback. Anyway, the polite leader's like, yo, we were following that guy and your neighbors let us know that you gave him sanctuary. And that's like not cool with us because like, you know, we're entitled to purge tonight, you know, as our right as Americans. So, you know, we're, what is it? Fine, young, proud Americans. Fine, young, proud Americans.
Fine,
trying
young,
to purge.
proud
Just
puss.
some proud boys.
Yeah, and I'm just like,
Gross.
this is too much. And he's like, we want, and he calls him a pig, which is disgusting.
Oh, he uses a lot of
Um,
hateful language.
Yes,
Oh,
to
yeah.
describe
he's
this man.
he's just using just the most hurtful words, like basically like dehumanizing the stranger. So like he's like, yeah, this guy lives so we can kill him, and that's on all levels so wrong. Anyway, he's like, give him to us without a problem, alive, and you know, we spare you. Like, you guys are obviously good people like us. Look at your house, it'll be fine. Just give him
And
to us.
They have the what were they? What kind of flowers were they?
Blue baptisias.
Baptisias
Out in the front yard, which means that they are
support the purge.
support the purge.
Yeah, so they're like, come on,
Come on, what you doing?
on.
What you doing right now?
Cool.
This ain't right.
And then they're like, oh god, oh geez. So they're like, do it now, like within the hour, because we have our homies coming and they're gonna roll through with the beast, and then we're gonna like totally take down all of your stuff. We can do it.
Release
We
the
have
beast.
technology. Release the beast. That's what he was saying when the beast came. Anyway, so they have 1 hour to find the stranger. Tough call. I mean, James is like, yo, we gotta find this guy and give him to these guys because I gotta protect my family, right? And I don't know. That just put us all in a tight spot. We're like, what would we do?
I wouldn't be in the
you guys-
situation. I'd be in Mexico.
Oh,
Okay,
Good
assuming
answer. that's a good answer.
assuming you couldn't be in Mexico and you were
Yeah,
with your family.
if you had to be in this situation, what would you do?
First of all, I just sit down and die in any situation. I don't have a survival
true.
instinct. You know that.
See,
I'ma just sit down.
Episode 13.
See
so-
episode, all of them. I have no survival instinct. I'm gonna sit down and fucking die. I wouldn't have made it past the first purge, folks.
You wouldn't have made it past your first purge on
No,
Earth?
no, ma'am. I would have accidentally left my house. I would have accidentally left my house like 5 minutes earlier than when the purge ended and got my ass fucking shot.
You're like, oh shit.
Like on the pursuit for some fucking Dunkin' Donuts. And like, I would have fucking gotten shot. It's over. Anyway, you guys can answer that.
Your clock is 5 minutes earlier,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh, it's over now because you didn't fucking listen to the siren.
Uh-huh. Antonio's gonna sleep through the siren, so.
Yeah.
I could believe that.
If I wake up and I'm in this situation, because that's how that'll happen.
It's
I'm
no
def-
orchestra.
Yeah, it would be. I'd be like, Antonio, fuck, we're in trouble, man, and you'd be like, okay,
Huh?
Yeah.
What?
because you're freshly awake, and that's
Oh,
like the moment
okay.
where anybody
little
could just
newborn babe.
destroy you.
I am most vulnerable post wake up.
Oh, we know. So what would you guys do in the situation? I didn't make it past the first purge, so that's my answer. What about you guys?
So this specific situation where
Give
we
him
have a
up or
group of
not?
people outside.
Yeah.
Where have
a
my
group- give 'em or
family?
not. I think I don't know. I feel like for me, I would want to fight back because it's like
The right thing to do.
it's the right thing to do, and I'm very much about the right thing to do.
Yeah, I would have turned around like Ethan Hawke. I think I would have had like, you know, a moment of weakness and been like, I got to do anything for my family, right?
I think that's right. I think I'm closer to Dahlia's. I'm almost like he would be out of my house and out there already. I don't know if I would have enough time for someone to sway me.
But I have a
Yeah.
conscience, and I don't think that I'd be able to. I'm like, my kid fucking brought him in here, so now it's my fucking problem. So
Yeah, I think I would have that mentality of it's the right thing to do. We got to just fucking do this.
and, you know, I like the way that it turned out. I think
That
yeah.
kid learned compassion from somewhere, and it was from his parents. His parents they came from, I think there's references to the fact that like they could barely pay rent like a certain amount of years ago.
10
like
years ago.
Yeah, like they have a certain sort of perspective that perhaps their neighbors don't. And I do feel like that compassion was instilled on Charlie, and that's why they do have that sense of morality.
They are parents. Well, I wouldn't say they are parents before the purge. I think like what their kids would have been like 6 and like 4 or something too. So like they were, I guess, yeah, they were parents
they were struggling,
before
and the
the
purge helped
purge.
them economically.
Like they were different people then. They weren't a result of the purge, you know, like people born after or
Mhm.
whatever. They weren't really like, what did you say, molded by it. So yeah, I think that they instilled that in him. So James is looking for the stranger, and like, of course, Charlie's in the room and he sees all this happening, and he's like, well, I still have compassion enough to help the stranger. So he helps the stranger with Timmy, his little spooky robot, which looks like the fucking baby spider from Toy Story,
Yeah. I love
And
Timothy
he's like-
Chalamet.
making another appearance, right?
His first role.
So brave.
In utero, no. Tiny baby with half a brain, I think. It was really, really creepy. Like when you see it, you're just like, Jesus Christ. But yeah, he helps the stranger into his secret place, as we've discussed before. So now he's like good and hiding. The mom almost finds him, doesn't. And then later on, as Zoe, who for some reason has like been alone in the house walking around, just discovered that all these people are here and they only have like 1 hour. She doesn't even know that they have 1 hour to find the stranger. She's unaware because she's so dumb. So dumb.
So a teenager.
Oh my God. So she's just like, I'm going to go hide because they killed Henry. I'm going to go hide in your secret place, okay? And, you know.
And Charlie's like, oh, fuck.
Oh,
No,
shit,
no,
here we
no,
go.
no. Oh no.
Oh no. So, of course, you know, James is on the hunt and he comes into Charlie's room and he encounters a stranger holding Zoe hostage, and she has Henry's gun. So he takes Henry's gun and he's like, nobody, I'm not going to die tonight. And that was like really, really crazy powerful. Like, he's like, I'm not going to die tonight. And he's like, James is like, you are going to die tonight. So that was like hard because I think he had his choice like solidified there. But, you know, he subdues him with Mary and they shoot him and they try to tie him up. And in that process of tying him up and sitting him down on a chair to present him to the people outside, the Purgers, he has like, you know, a relapse moment, right?
Well,
Mary does.
Mary does, because they... I think one of, like, watching that scene, and it's so rough to watch, is when James is like, get the letter opener, press on his wound, and she's just like, that's so wrong, but like she does it, and then she starts doing it, and Charlie's like screaming like, Mom, don't do that, like stop. And it's so, the whole thing is just so rough and really raw, and I think that's when she's kind of like, this is wrong, like this doesn't feel right, and she's looking in his eyes, and it's just like, it's not right because he's a human, you know, like we're dehumanizing him by doing this. And I think that's when she's kind of like, this isn't right. Look at what we're doing. Look at what this is making us doing. This isn't us.
Who are we? So sad.
And then I think that kind of, you know, makes James start to think like, you know what, you're right. This isn't right.
We love a change of heart.
Yeah. So they choose to fight back instead. So all the creepy
Because then
all the creepy pussy boys outside come inside. Oh,
because
y'all
the beast arrives.
Who arrives?
release the beast.
The beast.
The
So,
beast.
Release the beast.
The way that really goes is so everyone leaves the room and James is left to try to get the stranger outside on his own. And then Mary is confronted by the beast, which is a giant truck with chains. And she starts to realize, oh my God, they're going to come in here.
Mm-hmm.
So she relapses on a relapse for a second, but James is like, no, we're going to do what you guys said. We're going to fight. Because she like thinks, you know, they're actually going to come kill us. Maybe we need to give him up. Maybe that's how we save our family, blah, 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 blah. But James is now firmly on the other side of the fence. And so that's when they start to fight back. That leaves the truck to rip off all the doors and windows and barricades and everything like that.
Yeah, because it turns out that these fucking security systems don't even fucking work 99% of the time.
They're
Oh
like,
yeah, that's probably
they're
a point we should
more-
cover.
yeah. They're more designed for like general deterrence, kind of like, you know,
just for the
just
look.
like floodlights are a general deterrent or cameras are a general deterrent. Anyone can come in and still do something. They just have to have enough like willpower to do it.
Yeah.
It wouldn't matter, you know. If anyone rammed a 16 like a semi into a house, it doesn't matter what barricade is there. It's still going to run right through that house. So 99% effective is what these are. But, you know, anyone with enough manpower and like mechanical power can and will tear down a barricade eventually. But it's a gated community. Everyone has it. If anyone's coming after you, they're coming after you. Not everyone.
that just goes to show that no matter how secure you are, you're not really that secure. There's no 100% guarantee that you're safe. So that's fucking wild. And you know, James knows it. He explained it to his wife, so they're like, "Oh gosh, oh geez, oh gosh, oh geez." But what happens next?
They fucking
They
come in,
fucking
baby.
start coming in.
It's chaos, mayhem, pandemonium, mama. Like, it's just glass breaking. They're all coming in, and they start fighting each other, because it's the Purgers versus the family. And I don't know who they get. They get first, but it's tense. I'm anxious. I'm hiding.
Well,
They
They
go
send
for Charlie
Charlie-
first.
Yeah.
they send Charlie downstairs. Well,
to the
James
basement, right?
well, James, I guess, sends Charlie downstairs with a gun downstairs and says, "Don't let anybody see you. Go hide downstairs."
And then Charlie, in his infinite brilliance and genius intellect, is flashing
He's a
flashlights
child.
everywhere, you know, trying to see everything in the corner while he's already hiding in a specific spot. So that alerts one of the intruders to where he's at, and that's like the first interaction. And so James has to shoot the guy who's trying to take Charlie. He's about to actually execute Charlie down
Yeah,
there
he
in that
was.
basement.
He totally was.
He was 100% about to. Gun to the head and everything. But that's when James has his first kill of the night.
He kills like 4 people at once, doesn't he?
In the next
He
scene,
sure
3.
does.
like it was a whole pool. What you wish you had, a game room in your house, right? With a pool table, fucking pinball machine and shit. And then the little remember teehee people that were like, "We're a couple." Hee. Like she was like piggyback riding the dude, and they walked into the room, and then they split so fast because they're like, "He's got a gun," and you know they have the little shootout, but they die. And one dude, I think, breaks through the fucking window.
Yeah, it comes out of fucking
out of the
nowhere. Fucking Kool-Aid man.
It's too much. Yeah, literally exactly like that. Oh my god. But, you know, James got him. And then he's like, nice. And he double taps, which is like, I
So
only
important.
can ask that.
So important.
Doll is most what she looks for the most in a man is a man who double taps.
In more ways than one.
Boom! Gross.
Anyway, he walks out the door, but then he walks into
A knife!
A big knife. Not a teeny knife, a big knife. Like, what kind of knife is that called? Like a
Bowie
combat
knife?
a combat knife?
It was
Is it a Bowie
huge.
knife? It's fucking huge, dude.
Yeah, and it's the major leader creeper polite guy.
The polite leader.
Yeah, the
And
creepy
you know,
boy.
At this point, can you describe, you know, his he seems sad, didn't he? Like, he's like, I didn't want to do this.
Who? The creepy boy?
Yeah.
No.
That's what I got from
No,
him.
I think he kind of got off on it.
Yeah, he did.
I think he was sad.
I don't think so. I think he was sad.
I think it was bigger than that.
We're looking at a picture of a Bowie knife.
Because it was like rounded at the top, and like fat at the top.
Oh, well now.
Yeah, it was.
You like that? But at least to me, you know, I am just looking at this from a different way, thinking maybe he had some emotional response in his dead brain.
He was killing. He's like, that was my friend. I killed him. Now guess what I'm gonna do to you? Like, he seems pretty not remorseful
Seems
at all.
pretty horny for it,
yeah.
you know?
And he was looking at a picture of Zoe and was like, save her for me.
Ew.
While Zoe
I didn't
was
hear that.
hiding under the bed.
Yeah.
Because while James is essentially dying, Zoe's hiding under the bed.
She's still alive.
She's still alive. And then Mary is walking through the hallways and stuff with the gun ready, but someone is following her.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the man's I wanted to see under the mask.
Okay.
All right.
And then
So James gets stabbed, and
James gets stabbed.
yeah.
And he's dying, and the polite leader's like, he gives him a little kiss on his forehead, and then he's like, goodbye and good riddance.
But Zoe comes
so I
in,
guess-
right, and kills him.
No.
No,
So-
not for a minute. So
James is there.
'Cause
He's dragging himself down the stairs. At this point, the neighbors start showing up.
Correct. Charlie sees the neighbor show up and kill some of the like the outlooks outside.
That's right. The
Listen,
Yeah.
so much
And
happened.
then Mary, it's a very like quick sequence that happens,
Mhm.
and it's a lot of things that happen immediately after like they rip down the freaking gates. Mary, who is trying to find Zoe,
Gets
trying
got.
to kill people, gets caught by another couple. And one of them is really creepy, and she starts to tickle Mary. You know, it's very disturbing. Like, why would you do that to someone just before you kill them?
Because it's
like,
horrifying.
I know, but like,
You know how involuntary a tickle is? That you
Yeah.
just start laughing? You can't.
did she laugh during that?
So bad. Like, she's like screaming her guts out. But again, at this point, the neighbors start coming in.
And the neighbors execute the couple that's tickling her.
And then they leave.
And they leave
Because I was
swiftly.
trying to think, I was like, how does Mary get down there? But they leave. She runs and they come down the stairs.
Yeah,
and
and
then
they
she
find
finds
James.
James.
Mhm.
And then Charlie's there.
Charlie comes.
And they're all like hugging each other and like, oh my God. And then the polite leader shows up and he has a fucking shotgun and he's like, thank y'all so much for this purge, blah, 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 blah. And then as he's about to execute them, Zoe fucking shoots this motherfucker so many fucking
Overkill.
times and he dies. And then she runs to her family.
Yeah, they're all sitting there, all scrunched up together.
And they say bye to James.
The daddy.
Because he dies. Like, he dies on the stairs. So sad.
Bye, Ethan.
And
Again.
and we're like relieved somewhat because the neighbors are here. And we're like, oh my God, you guys are here. Like,
Thank you for saving us.
yeah, thank you for saving us. And they're like, oh, just wait a second here, Mary.
Well, hold on now.
Which we should probably go back to the beginning of the movie.
Let's
where
go back.
We meet Grace.
Where we meet Grace, and Grace is kind of like that person that's so, what's the word?
passive aggressive.
Passive aggressive is the word. She's very passive aggressive towards Mary in the beginning, like, oh, like your house looks so nice. Your husband sold us all these things. Like that paid for that. That's really nice.
Yeah, you guys made a lot of money this year. Not everybody's as lucky as you. And like, you know, that new addition to your house is just so beautiful. But I think some would say that the neighborhood paid for that, seeing as how your husband sold us all these systems. And so you can feel it. You're like, that's a little strange.
And she gives them cookies, which
And-
I need to rewatch this again because I don't know what happened to those cookies. Because honestly, that's a way to kill someone and technically get away with it. Poison them.
I don't think anybody ate the
I don't
cookies,
think
dude.
anybody ate the cookies because if she's already like kind of a bitch, I'd be like, oh, fuck it, not eating.
I'm not
these
eating
cookies.
that.
Yeah, I throw them away.
Do you remember New Year's Eve?
Mm.
I didn't eat any of those cookies.
Uh-huh. Neither did Antoine.
I don't remember them.
Antoine's a fucking real one.
He sure is.
Were
Anyway.
they peanut butter cookies?
There were chocolate chip cookies that anybody can make in an oven. They were pre-made.
Oh, they were like Nestle Toll House, weren't they? or
But hey,
something?
you know what? I'm very thankful for that bowl.
That bowl does some
Like
work.
that bowl.
We use that a lot. So
Mhm.
I great. But anyway, so
Grace.
back to current events. Grace, her husband, another couple, and then this other single guy that we also saw at the beginning of the movie walking his doogie,
Mm-hmm.
show up and are like, whoa. We're not here to save you. You're our kill. And then that's when everyone's like, what?
What? They're like, they did the dirty stuff to try to get in, and we just saw our opportunity to, you know, cleanse our hatred for you. And I was like, what?
And then that's when they pull James away into another room because he's already fucking dead. And then they start wrapping up
Yeah, like
Zoe,
duct taping
Charlie,
their-
and Mary.
Yeah, and Mary's like screaming. I think this was like so hard to hear. Like,
Mhm.
I don't think I could have made any sense at this point if it was me. I would just be like screaming. I'm like, she was just saying, please, not my kids. You can't do this to my kids. Please, Grace, I'm begging you. And, you know,
Great
nobody likes
actress.
to beg,
Lena's a great actress.
But like, wow, she was
amazing.
so good. I'm like, I am so hurt. you
Really, one
know?
of the only reasons to watch Game of Thrones.
I'm not going to watch Game of Thrones.
But you'll get
Period.
through it twice as fast as the rest of us
Is it
because
on
you'll
H-
watch it in 2 times speed.
You know, know what? You want to stop calling me out on this double time bullshit. I haven't done it since whenever I told you guys.
You should have never told him. That was your first
I don't have
mistake.
to tell you guys anything anymore. You're out. Get out.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Get back
And that
here.
concludes this episode of Sit Down Loser.
That includes this
Get back here and finish
podcast.
this podcast.
That concludes this season.
So anyway,
We
they're
should
getting
definitely have a season and a cliffhanger ending.
so anyway, so they're getting ready to purge the whole Sandin family, and all of the sudden, Timmy comes through
Tim
and
Tam.
starts singing that fucking song.
He
I don't
loves
know-
old songs.
Yeah, whatever song was playing comes through, and Charlie's like, Timmy? And then everyone's like, what the fuck? And then the stranger comes out, and he grabs Grace, and then he fucking shoots the shit out of the single guy. And then he tells the other couple, put your fucking weapons down right now and untie them right now.
Yep, I think he pistol whips somebody. Yeah, he does. He goes "Boop," right here to Mr. Halverson, I think was his name. And he's like, y'all make a choice, or stand right there. He lines them up, and then I think Mary at this point has the power to be like, what do you want to do? And she's just like, I think I really want some fucking peace for the rest of the night.
While Grace is like, just do it already.
I know. Can you believe? Like, they were in full prayer circle just before that, and they were like, blessed be this new America, blah, blah, blah. And then suddenly she's just like, fucking do it, bitch. And it's like, no, that would be too easy.
Was it, who said, like, the husband was like, what?
Oh, me.
Was it you? The husband was like, grr.
Grace's husband starts looking at her like, we might have to rethink a couple things for our future.
I love the way that this turned out, though. I am very sad that James, died, obviously. But, you know,
that's just Ethan Hawke's prerogative to die.
you stop that.
I don't like that.
You stop that.
True.
So they wait out the evening. I thought it was going to go completely different. She's like, I just want some fucking peace. I thought she was going to let them go. But then at the same time, I'm like, if you let them go, they could come back, right? So she keeps them hostage through the entire evening until 7 a.m. the next morning when the purge ends. So the stranger's there with the gun in his hand. Mary, she just looks so tired, and she's just like in disbelief, really. And she just has her hands clasped together and in front of her face, and she's just like waiting. And she's like, how did you like the party that Grace had? Because we could see it in the monitors before during the movie that Grace was having a purge party that they were not invited to. And James had made a comment that he's like, just be glad we weren't invited, okay?
Yeah, because she told Mary at the beginning, like, oh, it's too much work to have a party. We're just going to stay in and watch some Purge news or whatever the fuck it was. So she basically was like,
Didn't he
we're
call
not
her-
having one.
Didn't he call her like a bitch? Or she's annoying? She's
Oh, yeah,
fucking-
that's one. I wrote that down. But I would say this whole scene is like my favorite part of this movie because
Yes.
I love what happens. Because so they're sitting there, she asks him, and he's like, you know, fuck you. But she's like, I'm sorry, what was that? He was like, it was fun. And she was like, okay.
Oh, right.
Sitting there, right. Have you read a Krispy Kreme?
Was it crispy? Right.
But the kids are, you know, fucking crying over their dad, who is dead in the next room.
Just crying
And
on
she
his
looks
dead
over-
body. It was so sad. So fucking sad.
It was
It
so sad.
was.
And not Mary. Grace sees the opportunity to be like, she's not looking. I'm gonna grab this fucking gun that Mary has like under her, just clutching onto. Grace tries to grab it. Mary grabs it away from her, fucking hits her in the face with it, and then takes her head and bashes it on the fucking table. And she's like, I said I want no more killing. Is that fucking hard to understand? I love that because I think that's the point any of us would have where it's like, enough.
That is like
Okay.
This
raw
has gone
enough,
on long
raw
enough.
emotion. I could see that, honestly. I could see myself doing that at the point of like being there at that day after what happened. Absolutely, I'm gonna
Especially
smash her
after your
face.
fucking husband just died.
Dude.
I'd be like, I'm done. I'm tired.
I'm
okay?
tired of this bullshit.
I'm tired of this.
I'm gonna
grandpa.
smack you a second time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got him. So
And then right after that moment is when the sirens go off and the purge is officially over.
And they leave.
And then she's like, get the fuck out of my house.
and the stranger walks away, and she says thank you, and he says good luck,
What's that?
and then that's it.
And then it ends, and after the credits start rolling, it starts playing like radio news and stuff, and it reports that this year's Purge was the most successful to date.
What?
I hate that. Again.
That's a lot to digest.
I'm tired of David Disturbed in this house.
Not David Disturbed.
My drag named David Disturbed.
Ladies and
Davy
gentlemen, David Disturbed. Coming to the stage, David Disturbed.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey.
But that was such a good end to that movie, TBH. I think it was very unexpected. Coming into this with like kind of no expectations and just trying to accept the movie for what it is, and also learning about the Purge. I think that's the thing that most interested me and questions I wanted answered. I'm like, who made the Purge? Like, how long has it been going on? Like, what's the story? What's the lore behind it? And you get some tidbits in the movie if you're paying attention or using subtitles. That's helpful.
Uh-huh.
But apparently in the sequels, it's better explained.
It is. The NFFA, which is the New Founding Fathers of America. I'm not sure if it's intentional or not, but like the NFFA and being close to like saying NRA, I feel like those are like
I think
tangents.
that's absolutely intentional.
So like they try to make it as parallels to real world stuff and everything like that, but it's a political party.
Yeah, at the same time in the ending that you talked about, Sky, like the radio stuff that's happening, they say that insurance for like shelter, like protecting your property, and also guns have gone up.
Mm-hmm.
And that's always expected after the Purge, which is like, wow, it also should be known and explained in the movie that like the rich are obviously the ones who are better off in this situation than the poor. The reason why there's like no poverty pretty much is because they've eradicated was their word, all the people in poverty. So it's like, of course everybody's doing good because everybody that has jobs has a job, and everybody who didn't is not here anymore. It's very upsetting when you think about it. It's like when you just see the statistics and don't see the bigger picture.
Mm-hmm.
They can be they can be skewed. And I think that's what the Sandins discovered that night, Crazy. But it was definitely worth a watch. Ooh, I would watch it again. That's why I was watching a trailer after what I missed right after I watched the movie, like I always do. Definitely worth it.
Dolly is a deep diver into any movie.
She is.
Like anything. She could probably watch a freaking like What You Missed in Shrek and probably just be super glad to be there.
I'm going to have to, because now I can't watch The Purge 2 until we watch The Purge 2. Y'all did this to me. This is a threat.
Yes. So at the time of release of this recording, set in our real world universe, the parallel an alternative universe for the Purge.
The multiverse.
This takes place in about 7 days. I think the release date for this one is March 14th. And so the first Purge technically takes place on March 21st.
Be safe.
Of 2022.
Be safe out there, folks.
So scary.
Just remember all the good that the Purge does for us.
No.
So, like, I know the Purge on this year, whatever, does it fall on the same day? Like, or no, I guess
Same
it doesn't
date.
matter.
It's a date.
The same date. I don't know why I was thinking was like an actual day. They never said what day it was. So
Man, that would fucking suck
That
if
would
you
be-
were like, it's on a Friday. I was gonna fucking go out on this Friday. What the fuck? You're like, guess I can't.
Purge Friday? Boo. No, honestly, I feel like it kind
Or
of...
a Monday.
I feel like it would have to be, like, a specific day. Like, it probably has to be a Friday, honestly.
the third
Kinda
Friday of every month,
The third Friday,
Of every-
or the
of
third
every year.
Friday of
every March.
No, that's a Saturday, isn't it?
I never looked
March
ahead.
21st, 2020.
This is riveting.
1 second. Let's just check this for a second.
It's the 21st of every year. March 21st every
3,
year.
2, 1.
But
Oh!
Oh my God, Dahlia, you're such a
Three,
genius.
2, 1, go.
That makes sense.
I'm shook.
Is it always March 21st?
Yeah, right?
Are you sure? Is it?
Well,
I can't
It
look
could
it
be
up
like
because I'm
it could
not
be like a
allowed.
Thanksgiving thing
know.
where like they always put it on like a Monday, so that way people can go to work on Tuesday.
Riveting.
Riveting.
I like how you inserted that in there earlier.
it just says 7 p.m. on March 21st to 7 a.m. on March 22nd. All crime becomes legal.
It don't matter what day it is. It matters the date.
It's the date.
All right.
You're like, that was today? Oh.
That would be me. I'd be like, oh, fuck, it's today. I'd be
So
out
no.
at Target, like, ah!
You'd be like, ah! And it'd be like an hour till.
I'm like, I'm like in the toilet at
Eating at
Target.
McDonald's.
Oh, no.
Some Starbies.
That'd be fucking me. Come on now. That'd be all of us.
Dude, you gotta plan better. I would be like, I'd have that date written down, ready to go.
Nah, that's why I'm not
What?
making it past the first purge, bro.
You did say that.
You
Mhm.
did
You
say that.
certainly
We
You
gotta
said
get that.
certainly said you are not making it past many a thing.
Guess I'll die then.
Guess I'll just die.
Guess I'll just
And that's
die.
on
Period. Back to the whether this is worth a watch. I think that for any horror movie fan, absolutely you gotta watch it. I mean, it's so big and popular. You gotta. For all of us, it was must see. For you're not run of the mill horror film fan, so you're fine if you don't. But if you like
Horror film.
more but if you like horror, you gotta watch it. If you don't, you're fine.
Yeah.
I agree.
I mean, this is the one that started it all.
Yeah.
I think it's become so big that I think everyone should watch it. You know, I feel like it's become a big part of pop
Pope?
pop culture. You know, like the Purge masks now are so iconic, like just the imagery of them, and I think a lot of people know what that is. You know, so I think if you want to see how it started, I think you should watch it.
Any comments?
I'm more on the page that, like, if you like horror in any capacity, it's something that you will actually probably see at some point in your life. There are plenty of people who don't watch horror movies, and it would
yeah.
be a skippable movie.
Sure.
That's a solid point.
Mm-hmm.
So, hot cast.
Yes, I
Yes.
love Ethan Hawke
Lena only.
so much, and Lena. She's very beautiful,
Yeah.
except for that fucking motherfucking wig.
That
Oof.
wig.
That wig did not do the work.
Tragique. Like, her face is good. The hair is good. Her and the face. I just don't think they did her justice with that hair. Maybe if it was a different color.
No, I don't even think the color was bad. I think it was just
The cut?
Just the cut, man. Like when she would like move and it was like right. I don't know. I didn't like the cut.
The framing wasn't good on
it
the
was
face.
not good.
It was not.
Mm-mm.
The bangs,
No.
sometimes.
I just did not. It was just not it was not a cute wig, mama.
No, it.
And she's so beautiful.
She's so
It's
beautiful.
sad.
I was gonna say she is hotter in other things, but it's unfair 'cause she should have been peak hot. That wig didn't do her any favors.
Agree.
Soundtrack / score. Can't say I noticed. I really leaned a lot into silence, so can't say I
The
noticed.
same. Honestly, sound design in general, I would say that it was pretty good.
Yeah.
There was definitely scary violins from time to time. The usage of, like, Timmy in the old song, that's kind of fun. But that's just the sound design.
Nothing memorable.
For soundtrack or score, there's nothing that I'm going to sit here and be like, oh my god, I loved when it was in The Purge, blah, 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 blah. Or that moment in The Purge.
Honestly, the most
Yeah.
iconic sound is the siren.
Yep. I think that good sounds. If it was like like thumbs up, thumbs down, good sounds. Good sounds made it the movie a lot better, and definitely iconic sirens.
We already said fuck you on the costuming for the wig. This-
But the rest
I have
of
no
it,
comments.
do we like the preppy boy look? Do we care
No.
for,
I love the house though.
strangers? The house, the set design.
Yeah,
The
I think
slash
the house
location.
was such a good like open space
Mm-hmm.
without being an open space.
Mm-hmm.
Like the small hallways.
Yeah.
But like the big foyer.
Yeah, like it was. I think it was a good like setting for like a home invasion movie.
Considering,
I also think that it really pegged like the idea of 2022 versus when this movie actually came out, being what 2013, 2014,
mm-hmm.
2013, and like it that definitely looks like a 2022 home.
Yeah.
T.
Yeah. I mean, considering that this is where the whole movie takes place, like that had to be the, what's the word? Like the hunting grounds, so to speak. They were good grounds.
Yep.
Favorite quotes.
Mine, mine is when James is talking about Grace because they're looking at their security systems, and Mary's like, "Huh, it looks like Grace is having that annual purge party," and James is like, "Oh, you know, be thankful we're not invited." But he goes, "She's nice, but wow, she's annoying."
Mm-hmm.
And man, I just feel that about a couple people I know.
Wow. I don't think I had any favorite quotes. Is the siren a quote?
Yes.
It's a good sound.
Oh, I also wrote another one here. It was higher up. It was on one of like the news or radio castings or whatever. It was "Release the beast and purge in the American streets." I was like, that's funny.
What?
Terrible.
I like rhyming, okay?
Do you just like release the beast in general?
Release
Yeah,
the
it's
beast.
funny.
Release the beast.
Release the beast.
That's it. That's the quote.
That's it. Just whenever anyone says "release the beast," that's it.
That's it.
But we all know the real quote of the entire franchise.
Just remember all the good the purge
No.
does for us.
It's the Forever
Forever
Purge.
Purge.
That's not in this movie.
Huh?
That's not
It's the
in-
franchise.
But the entire franchise for the whole
Oh,
franchise.
I'm sorry. You had to make it abundantly clear talking about the franchise because as I was watching that video, they were like the Purge, the first Purge, the Purge the series, or the Purge the TV show. It's very hard to tell unless you specify what it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fucking empire. Yeah, so Dahlia, as the loser, do you think that this movie's worth the hype?
Yeah, I think it was absolutely worth all the hype that it got. I can see why it's blown up, you know. It's a concept that I think a lot of people have thought about, but like seeing it kind of, you know, in actuality and like in the world that it's set in, even though it's like mirrored of our world right now, it's very like cool and thought-provoking, but also it's fucking scary. And I think like people hang on to that real kind of like terror initially. Like actually as soon as we started watching the movie, there was they were going through all the title cards, right, and little videos where they were listing all the actors in the movie, and I was like, are these all like fake recordings of like, you know, murders happening? Because I'm like, that would suck if it was real. But it's because I don't like human on human violence, and like this type of thing is just too real, so it's like, you know, almost too close to the chest, you know. It could happen. Whereas like fantasy, you're like, it could happen, but then in the real world you're like, it could happen. That was like, I think, very interesting to me. So I think people like it because it could happen, but I hope it doesn't.
Title of the episode.
And
It
of
could
course-
happen.
All the symbolism, like Halloween, like it's become like a series of its own, and it has been, and it has so much behind it. So yeah, definitely worth all the hype. You should totally watch this movie at least once if you haven't. I think it's really crazy that I have gone this long without watching it. I feel like the same way about Saw, but seeing of how it's like with the sequels, unlike Saw, where it goes off a little differently. I think this one I kind of want to find out more about the lore instead of seeing more traps.
Yeah,
Like-
that's cool.
That could go on forever, but I kind of want to get into the nitty gritty.
Which it does as the series progresses. It kind of dives deep into like different aspects of the purge that you probably have questions on.
Can't wait.
Woohoo! Honestly, I think it's just a fun time to watch any of these movies. It's just honest. It's just a really good, just like sit down and see someone struggle for a couple of hours and then all done.
It's one of those movies you can watch and be like, well, you know what? My life's bad right now, but at least I'm not there.
Absolutely.
At least it's not March 21st.
In another universe.
Oh boy.
Also, can I say, I wrote this down in my notes and I didn't read it when we started. You know these movies are produced by Michael Bay?
What?
No.
There's not enough explosions.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, what? Michael Bay had his
He was
tiny
like-
fingies in this?
Ew, I don't want his finkies anywhere.
Alrighty, well, this concludes this episode of Sit Down, Loser. We're watching a movie. We'll catch you guys next time.
Bye, losers. And just remember, all the good the Purge does for us.